The devices you will need are going to be a volume device, a guard spawner, a stat power-up, a stat counter, and a stat creator. So now you should have a volume device, a guard spawner device, stat power-up device, stat counter device, and stat creator device in your quick bar. You will need the use of patchwork devices to make this work, but I will not be showing how to do this in this video, as patchwork devices are a whole thing in itself. You'll need to create a link of patchwork devices together to make an idle theme for your henchmen. Right here is mine that I'm currently using. You will also need to create an alert theme or a combat theme for your henchman device. And here is the setup you'll need for all your devices, or well, stat devices together. First, you'll start with your stat creator. You need to make a name for it, give it max value 1, and then the max level, I would say put it between 15 or 20 or so. And that's all you really need for the stat creator. Next, you'll start with your stat power-up, so you'll apply it to the stat you just created in the stat creator. Give it a magnitude of 1 or 2, infinite duration, and have it where it has instant respawn. Next, you will copy and paste the stat power-up you just made, and instead you just make it where it's a magnitude of -1. Next is for the stat counter, which you do the tracked stat is of whichever stat you made in the stat creator, but you're looking for level in particular, the one within parentheses, comparison value of 2, broadcast events on stat change must be on, and visible in game is really important. Yeah, you usually just have it off. Next, we'll go to the event channels, which then, on a compare success, it will unregister a player from the idle music and register the player into the combat music. And for a compare failure, it will do a reverse of that and, well, register the player onto the idle and unregister the player from the combat music. Next is for the guard spawner, which all we really have to change for this is just the event channels it interacts with, is which, if it alerted to a player, it will pick up the add stat token, which will increase the stat level, and if it loses sight of a player, it will give the player the alert subtraction token, which will make it lose the level. And then, on eliminated, it will disable the patchwork devices, and that's really it. Well, also, if it eliminates the player, that player's data is cleared and reset. Next, the zone device will be used to create like an area around the henchman, which will be used to kind of control the idle music, which pretty much if a player enters the zone, they'll hear the music, and if they exit the zone, they will no longer hear the music. And now I will demonstrate this system working in gameplay.